What's good? It's Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima.
This is not another damn podcast. Presented by our damn selves. 255, baby.
255.
Let's go, man. Yeah.
Double nickels.
Double nickels, okay. So we had two double nickels. That makes sense. I don't know.
255.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Easter Sunday as we do this. So
yes. Easter/Resurrection Sunday. Some of the religious people will say, like the really religious people call it resurrection. That's what they'll call it. I hear a lot of them doing that. But it's tis the season for. I know we see the memes with like the pastors looking like J. Anthony Brown with like the Easter suits on. Like they always see those memes every with the pink and the
What's funny is like, do cats? I guess cats still dress like that on Easter. It seems like modern day is like it's like come as you are almost now.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, some people still probably dress up. I'm sure some people.
Modern day is kind of, but probably the older folks still get like do kids still get Easter outfits? I don't think so.
It's snazzy, yeah.
I think they do.
When I was at doing a visit to one of the daycares on Friday. Because it was Good Friday. So like it was like one little boy, he had his like little suit on. He was like dressed in the nines. I was like, oh, okay, look at him. He had like the little shoes and the little vest and it was a white vest with like the white pants and like the little dress shoes. I was like, okay.
Do niggas still wear, do the girls still wear the big ignorant church hats, I guess? No.
Or the ruffle socks, like the little socks with like the little like lace around it and those little well, it's no more Payless. I mean, because that was like the thing.
Peacock on your head, you know what I mean? Yeah, them giant.
Oh yeah, the wide brim hats.
Hats, yeah. Mm-hmm. like the pimps were wearing, and I'm gonna get you, sucker. When Tony Cox was one of them under that.
And Tony Fargus is walking out.
Yeah, he is too.
He's walking out.
That's a classic movie.
But yeah, I don't know if they still wear that or whatnot. But happy holidays to everyone who's celebrating today. Hopefully everybody is having a great time because in Chicago, we're still cold. We're still cold here.
Through April and the state weather still sucks for some reason.
It's still 40 degrees here in Chicago as we speak right now. I'm like, why am I still in my winter coat and my hat? Why?
Why I'm wearing a hoodie. I just came from outside and you still got
my hat on, my bullseye knit hat with the ball on the top. Yeah,
still for me. Yep, all of it.
Like, what is going on? Eventually, we will get spring. It's just running on its own time right now. We'll just say running on their own time. Oh,
I got a little something. What you got?
I want to actually kick it off by, like I said, unfortunately, we had a passing that happened this week in the entertainment biz.
I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about. Mr.
I know who you're talking about.
Affleck, Mr. Gilbert Gottfried. He passed away at the age of 67 years old. It was connected to muscular dystrophy. I want to say like it was affiliate because he had been sick.
A long time illness. I didn't.
Yeah, he had been sick for a while, battling, and then whenever you have an underlying condition, then it's like other things can happen, and that's what happened. It was something with ventricle something happened with him, which was the effect of the muscular dystrophy. So he was 67 years old, and just such a sad,
my earliest
sad thing to hear, because we love like
memory of him was when he was on the Cosby Show, when Huxtable was buying
the car.
He
was wearing the rags.
There's a lot going on in there. Yeah, like
Sinbad was a dealer.
And then
for a reason.
He, like I say, Huxtable down dressed so he could try to get a better deal on the car.
A better deal, because he's like, if they find out I'm a doctor, his eyes are going to go That's what he was telling Theo. Like, I want to get a good deal, so that's why he wore
Don't let
these
dudes
tattered
find
clothes.
by any means, don't let him find. Of course, Gilbert Godfrey walks right in on cue and like, Dr. Huxtable.
And spills all the tea.
Yeah.
He said, this guy wears desire swears. One of his swears costs more than my entire wardrobe. Then he puts him on further blast. How's your wife doing? Cliff says, oh, so. He says, so. I hear she just made partner at her law firm. So he just puts all his business out on the street, lets him know he's a doctor, lets him know the wife is a lawyer, just puts everything out there. And then my episode I love of him on Living Single when he was a hectic telemarketing dude. When Maxine had to work in the
telemarketing scheme that he ran.
And then when he got caught in there, obviously Max represented herself because she's a lawyer when they were in court, and Max was saying her case.
He just took off like in the middle of the night, and then the police busted everybody.
The police raided the place. Yeah, the police raided it.
Like, cause he knew they were coming. Said like, "Where you going?" He's like, "I'm out of here."
Yeah, so he left and didn't even tell his team that he was leaving where he was going. He just took off.
The cops were coming. He just left.
And left them there too.
But then he of course he gets caught too, obviously. But
yeah, obviously.
At the end,
and when he says it's like, "You'll never work in the telemarketing industry again. I made you and I can break you." Like, I love when he did that.
I liked him.
That was hilarious. That was so
Bellamy's doorman and how to be a player.
Oh yeah. Splitty and Kilo, I think what it is.
When they were talking about onion booty. He's like, his interpretation.
Because
booty is an ass and onion makes a grown man cry.
Makes a grown man cry. Onion booty.
Booty. That was his interpretation.
Onion booty.
Really, it's like it's shaped like an onion, but
shaped like an onion.
His interpretation is like, yeah, it makes a grown man cry. That's why you call it an onion booty. That's what Gilbert Godfrey came up with.
And then an episode that I saw him on, like that I revisited because I've been catching up on like my old school programming on Paramount Plus. Are You Afraid of the Dark is on there streaming. They have a new reboot. I haven't watched the reboot yet, but then they have like the old one from the 90s. And Gilbert Godfrey was on the episode from like 1995. And I'm like, why do I remember Gilbert Godfrey being on here? And also in that same episode, it was a young Ryan Gosling in that same episode. A young Ryan Gosling was in the episode too. So I was just watching it like what is? I was like, what? And like I said, and this is kind of watching it back now. Because if I watch it back now, I'm gonna probably be sad watching it because in the episode he was playing like he was like the head of the he was like a radio DJ, but he was like the radio DJ on the afterlife side. So he was helping people who recently passed away to find their way to the afterlife. That was what his job was on the episode. Mm-hmm. And he was like letting people know, like, hey, this is the way home. Like, this is the way you find your way home. Come this way or whatever. And that was what the episode was about. So like if I watch it back now, I'm gonna be like, could be like sad watch it. And the thing that made me go like, because recently Gilbert Godfrey himself posted this on his Instagram, and it was a picture of him, Bob Saget, and Louis Anderson on it.
And they all just died like this year, I want to say. Yeah.
They did. Like not too far from one another, because he posted the picture after Bob Saget passed away. Cause I think Louis passed first and then Bob Saget, well, vice versa. I know they passed around the same time.
Yeah, like he probably said, yeah, like both of them are gone is what he posted.
All right, and that's why he posted the picture. He was like
gone too. Like that's probably why he posted it.
Because he was like, it's so sad. Look, he said this picture used to be a great memory, but now he was like, it's sad. Like, look at this picture for him. And then the comment section was saying to him, they was like, we got to wrap Gilbert Godfrey in bubble wrap. We got to wrap him. We got to protect him at all costs, everybody. You know how people get paranoid when they see folks like that. So people was like, no, we got to protect him now. But just such a talent. Like, I mean, like we love his comedy. Like he was very, very funny, man, very talented, great comedic actor. So prayers, condolences to the Godfrey family. I think I want to say he had a wife and 2 children, I want to say. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's unfortunately, my sad news. I just had to get that out to mention one of my faves I loved watching as a kid. Yeah.
Well, question.
Yes.
Is BLM still a thing? Question. Because there's a couple of crazy stories out there, and I ain't heard a peep from the BLM or any of them. Yeah, any of the organization. I'm talking about the organization. BLM.
Yes, I know. I might try to, because I think I know where you're going with the stories that have happened
out there that seemed like, especially in 2020, like people would have been marching in the streets and all, but I hear dead silence on both of them. I hear little people talking about one of the stories. This one you might not even heard right here. Have you heard about the OnlyFans model that stabbed and killed her boyfriend in Miami?
I did. I heard about that story. And the reason why I heard that story is because, unfortunately, I say, like, I follow some groups in Facebook, and unfortunately, people use stuff at, like, here's the thing. If someone dies, it's an inappropriate time to bring up certain things when someone, like, it's one thing if somebody didn't die. It's one thing if somebody didn't, you know what I mean? Like, so I feel like stuff is fair. If you put something out there on the internet, it's out there to be judged and stuff. It is. But if somebody passes away, it's like, now's not the time to kind of bring up, like, because the thing is that a lot of people are saying that they're not going to give energy to him because they're claiming that he was a self-hater.
Yeah, he's
because they're
pull up the story.
Like if you look,
I'm about to bring it back up.
If you look at previous tweets from like 10 years ago,
Christian O is what we're gonna call him. So I'm not going to even attempt to. He was Nigerian, and I'm not going to attempt to pronounce his last name. We some Nigerians, and like I'm sure I probably still screw up some of their names. So Christian O is what we're gonna call him right now. Yeah, but yeah, he did have some very spicy tweets like that they dug up on him, saying that because he preferred white girls is one thing people say. Yeah,
prefer white women over black women.
Careful what you wish for and all of that, because his white girlfriend killed him. And she said it's self-defense. Yeah. So like and right now she hasn't been arrested. I think she was questioned and released, and that's what some people are talking about. People are saying that she's out on bail. Like she's not out on bail because she was never arrested.
She was never charged. And then the thing also that was protected with her with Florida, she had some kind of thing where like they hold you for like psych stuff because she alluded to something about a mental thing or whatever. So whenever it's like a mental thing, they can like hold you for like
exactly is what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what she like, like they held her for that, but the mental stuff.
Doctors, mental health professionals, and judges to commit a person to a mental health treatment center for up to 72 hours with so specific violent or suicidal tendencies. That's what.
There you go, because she was saying stuff that was alluding to her mental being at jeopardy. So then they put that in place. But since that's been lifted now, because it's past obviously the 72 hours, yeah, I said, but I mean, it's just horrible that like people are like using that moment to say like, well, he didn't like black women anyway. So black women, we're not going to give him the energy to get. It's like, okay, whether you agree with what he said or not, he still died. And if anybody is murdered, I think anybody who's murdered unfair, like if you're murdered, that means that you should not have been murdered in most cases. And hopefully you get justice. Hopefully your family can get justice for your murder.
Tariq Nasheed went after him
hopefully.
Hard. It's like,
hopefully you can get justice.
Are you familiar with Tariq Nasheed? I don't know if you know him.
The name sounds vaguely familiar.
Basically he's pro-black, but like pro-black Americans is what he is. Like he hates. That's what he hates, like blacks from like Africa or like just black immigrants in general.
He's African American pro-black.
Well, yeah, like like we should get ours first before you bring immigrants in. So he went after this dude hard. It's like, and it was some spicy back and forth on Twitter about this story. Yeah, especially when Tariq Nasheed jumped in. I was like, yeah. I probably wouldn't have went there, but that's what he does. Don't it?
My face, like
what he does.
My thing is, if somebody dies, it's like
or as for Tariq calls it, for foundational Black Americans is what he calls blacks that are here. Yeah.
Like, why are we kicking someone while they're down? Like, why? I mean, like. And then, like, the thing is, like, when people are going back to, like, okay, at the end of the day, like, a lot of his stuff that they're putting up, these are tweets from 10 years ago. He was only 27 when he was murdered. So he was, like, 17 in these, like, he was a teenager.
Who doesn't say dumb shit?
Who hasn't, like, here's the thing about us, like I said, for us who are older, I said, I'm an old-ass millennial. I don't hide it. You're an Xer. It's like we're of a certain age. So it's like you're X or I'm a Zennial, millennial, whatever you want to call me. So we don't hide our age, but it's like, heaven forbid, we turn our nose up and look down at people. But guess what? Social media wasn't out in the 90s when we was teenagers. It wasn't out.
We definitely said some wild ass shit.
Social media wasn't out when I was a teenager.
But we definitely said some wild ass shit. Shout out myself. Shout out Feast. Shout out Xavier. Shout out Philip. Right. I shout all of us out.
The 90s period, because you can a lot of stuff that you could say.
I've said too much already, but we definitely said some wild stuff.
A lot of stuff that you could say and do in the 90s and even early 2000s, even around the millennium, even early 2000s, you cannot say or do now. It will get you canceled. You will be canceled immediately if you even utter certain utterances. Now is canceled. Canceled. You said what?
Shout out Hashim. We definitely said some wild stuff.
It's like, so if we say, or like we hold people accountable for like, well, you did this and you, like, how many of y'all went to the Freaknik? How many of y'all exes went to the Freaknik?
Yeah. If it was up social media around during the Freaknik, a lot of us would be canceled.
You would see a lot, yeah. Or for my age group, I said, how many of us went to Cancun? Because by the time it was my age group, when I was college, it was Cancun. That Girls Gone Wild shit. Like that was my era. How many of us did that? Daytona Beach, Florida. How many of us did Daytona? How many of us? I'm just saying, like, so holding that, being like, he did, like, yes, the tweets out there.
Girl's name is Courtney Clinty, in case y'all wanted to know. I like
putting she's an OnlyFans
and so social media influencer. That's what her.
Yeah.
I
thought this is like a lot. I saw her interview where she said that she only likes rich black men or whatever, because I saw like a podcast that she did, and she was like she only liked rich black men.
Couldn't catch a Miami Heat player,
or Miami Dolphin,
or she couldn't catch Fresh from Fresh and Fit. I guess. Well,
he ain't got no money.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. You said rich. I forgot.
He ain't got no money. Like, don't let Instagram fool you, ladies. Like, this is a free game, ladies. Stop letting Instagram fool you.
Don't let that rented Lamborghini fool you.
Thank you. Don't let that fake ass chain from the car in River Oaks fool you. The fake chains you can get River Oaks for like $2.99. You can get got the drip. That's like $2.99 at River Oaks. That's not real. That's not. You ain't talking about nothing. But yeah, don't get fooled by it, because
that's not the drip. That's a single drop, dude. Exactly.
But yeah, you're gonna be looking like what's his name? Joe Torre from Sprung, where he had the fake fake receipts.
You're gonna be number 5, grabbing your dick and your balls, saying the line. That's
how you're gonna look.
Yeah, you're gonna end up.
People can masquerade and make them look like they're more than what they are. And if you get blinded by outer appearance and by flash, you think, okay. And then when you pull that back, you're going to be like, eh.
Especially in Miami. Like, I'm not from Miami, but there's a lot of phonies down there.
Oh, Miami is,
guys and girls, yes.
It's a different kind of place. Like I said, because Marcus has been there twice, and then he said when he went, he told me like, yeah, he's like, you just see like people like those
guys and girls, a lot
like the cars. It's like Ferraris, like you just see as soon as you go by the Ferraris, like it's just stuff like that you see.
Fresh and Fit, that's just 2 regular dudes in Miami, basically. Everybody kind of is fresh and fit in Miami. They all kind of do.
Everybody ain't DJ Khaled.
It is more fresh and fit than DJ Khaled down there.
Or Dwayne Wade.
But the other story I want to talk about, that one happened on April 3rd. These were back to back, ironically. Yeah.
Because I saw that. It's only because like the people in the groups that I follow, they were being kind of like, karma. They were being like,
I said we got to talk about this. I said why
like,
ain't we talking about it? And then April 4th, like the next day in Grand Rapids, you heard about that shooting, right? Yeah.
I just saw it come up in my. I don't know all the details behind it, but I did see the the ticker. I did see like it come up, like, but I didn't watch a video or nothing. I don't know if there's a video even out there.
Yes, it's dash cam, it's body cam.
I'm kind of over it. Like I really
video. It's all the.
I'm kind of like, do I even want to? I kind of don't want to watch like people getting killed on dash cams and stuff anymore. I kind of like.
How it started is once again he got pulled over because his tag didn't match the car. Somebody, it's like they want, like, like people have tags that don't match the car. That shit happens.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah,
want to check things out. Of course, it escalated from that, and then he gets into the scuffle with the cop, and on first viewing, it looks like the cop just shot him execution style in the back of the head, like. But then you got the different angles, like to slow it down and all of that. Is like he did, like he had retrieved the cop's taser, and that's when he got shot. So like, but like that's the whole nother argument. Like, should you shoot a guy because he has a taser? Like, that's a whole nother thing. But it wasn't just he just shot a black man in cold blood. It wasn't that, like, because he took the cop's taser, and that's when he like popped him. Yeah, so that's a whole nother, like, actually, right there. But I'm trying to get the cop's name on this too, because I like putting names out there.
Because my thing is, it's like, yes, being a police officer is one of the hardest jobs ever to do, because it's like you only have a split second to make a decision. It's your life. Your life could be gone in that split second. You don't have a minute or 2 minutes to think about it. You have to make a split life
seconds. Yeah, most of these.
Within how many seconds?
Within seconds.
It's quick. It's real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Think about when you're watching basketball, like 3 seconds in the key. Mm-hmm. That's what it'd be. It'd be 3 seconds in the key, basically. It's quick. You can't be like, well, if I do this way, if I go this way.
Where you'd be like, well, you could shoot him with the fire warning shot or shoot this or that. It's like, and when you're in that, like, shit happens, and it's and like I said, that's a whole nother discussion, whether he had to like shoot him in the head. Like that's
right. Because it becomes,
that's a whole nother discussion. Like argue that, but say you shouldn't have shot him at all. Like, I don't think you can say that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have shot him in the head. That's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah, but as a civilian, it's like, of course, like, I mean, I don't own any weapons, and I'm not licensed to. Oh, I'm not. But I mean,
I'm licensed.
Yeah. You're licensed, and like, so we know your situation. But it's like us as civilians, because we're civilians, it's like we automatically have a fight or flight thing. So if we're put in a situation where it's fight or flight, we want to fight. We want to choose, like, but we're not trained as officers. Like, officers obviously have more aggressive situations than us on a daily basis. Like, we don't face the stuff that officers face daily. We just do not. As civilians, we do not. Officers have to face this on a daily basis. So the thing becomes like, it's the training, like I feel like it needs to start from the top. Like, do we need to revamp the whole training? It's a training out of date, because is it, do we need to go there? Like, is stuff outdated now? Like, is everybody doing properly what they're supposed to be doing? Like, you have to have these real life scenarios. You can't just be like, well, have a real scenario where, like, okay, somebody took your partner's gun. Now what? You have to have give real scenarios that actually are, you see what I mean? Like, real stuff, not like little easy little, it has to be something that's really,
even though
that really prepares you.
I say, even though BLM hasn't said anything, of course, the guy who did jump. Ben Crump, yeah.
That's what I saw come up on my face. There's like, Ben Crump is speaking. I'm like, because whenever I see his name, I
roll my eyes. It's like, he's an ambulance chaser. He's in this because it's the money. Like, that Nigerian dude ain't got no money. That's why he ain't there. It's like, like, the police have money. That's why you hear.
And the lady, it's a good case. The girl's probably going to get off because
I'm sure, and she doesn't have any money. I'm sure, like that.
Yeah.
The girl that case has no money gets attached to it. Yeah.
Right.
Like, Crump can't get any money out of that girl. Like, she's an OnlyFans model. Like, you're not gonna
Sue
get
the department for $50 million. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, and then they settle for like
10.
He gets his 10%.
He gets his third.
Yeah,
Lawyers get a third.
whatever,
Yeah, lawyers get a third.
Yeah. So
yeah, they get their 30%. Yep.
So that's why Crump is going on this case and not the other one. And I don't feel bad saying that, because the court's like, he says that I can't even find his statement, but it's not what he said. Basically, like whenever he says something, it's never what the video. When you see the video, it's always different. Yeah. So like, you start tuning out. At least I start tuning out Crump.
My thing is, stop doing this.
It's like
Stop doing this. Stop fanning flames, because it's like, obviously
trying to get the money. That's why, yeah, Crump's after the money.
Obviously, the relationship
Probably,
between
if the video goes by what the evidence seems like is leaning towards, like, this cop is probably not going to be charged, but it's always a civil settlement with these cases.
Yeah, it is.
And so that's why Crump is there. Like, it's going to be a settlement. The family is going to get some money because they always.
My thing is, instead of fanning the flames, you have to look at this, because the relationship between Black people and cops has a deep-seated. It has a deep-seated history. The history, like, it's not going to go away, because the history behind it is to, like, original police officers were the ones who, like, caught runaway slaves. That's the history. That's the history that we're dealing with. So you have this that's been building all these years, and, like, you know, the racist stuff, like the cops beating the Black people in the 60s, like turning the fire hoses on them, attacking them with dogs, like. We're one generation away from that. Our parents went through that. Our parents, not our our parents went through that, the 60s. So we're only a generation from that. Mm-hmm. If you're a young Xer, if you're an older Xer, then you were maybe like my daughter's age, and you actually saw it with your eyes. You were like my daughter's age when that was going on. So it's like, we have a long history that needs to be healed. It's like, it's a lot of distrust. Like I said, why you think NWA made fuck the police, not fuck the fireman, not fuck the paramedic, NWA made not fuck the lawyer, fuck the police.
Ice-T made a cop killer back in the 90s.
Why you think 187 on the motherfucking cop? Why you think it's so many songs with those lyrics in it? It's a long history that is broken, that needs to be. It's a long history that needs fixing. It's a long. His
name hasn't been released because they said they're not gonna put his name out unless charges are. So I couldn't find the cop's name yet. But the name is not out there right now. If I get the name, I'll probably tag it in the description.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I haven't seen it. And like, it is, like I said, from what you're describing, if someone is grabbing, like, here's the thing, like, I know in that moment it can get to be like, I haven't been pulled over and feared like that or whatever, because like I said, if I did get pulled over, because I knew I was speeding. Like, okay, I was speeding. Okay.
Pulled over while carrying before, but I didn't panic because
I was speeding. It's okay. I know I was speeding.
I made very slow and like calculated moves. It's like, yeah, like
I was speeding. So
and yeah.
And then I know like everything, like I've never had expired tags on my car. I've never carried illegal activity in my car. I know like things about me that I don't have. So I'm like, okay. And I know my rights. Like, I would never allow anyone to search my car, because it's like, even though I have nothing to hide because I don't do anything illegal. You have a right to refusal. I have a right to refuse. I know I have that right.
Now, guess what? If after you say no, if they search anyway, now that's an illegal search.
That's an illegal search.
Consent, that's not illegal. Mm-hmm. You say, sure, take a look. Yeah, like you can't say that, well, you search without a warrant. Like consent is the same as a warrant. Mm-hmm. If you don't consent, then they look, then that's where their legal search comes in. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah,
and I know that.
Consent, then consent is just as good as a warrant. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if you search my car anyway, then I'm calling somebody. I think we know lawyers, so I'm instantly like, I'm calling a lawyer. Like, hey, I know some lawyers. Like, hey, hey.
Now with the body cams and the dash cams, like you can get the footage, so they can't say that you consented when you didn't. They will show me the video where I consented. Yeah.
Right.
It's like, you can't show me that video. Yeah.
So it's like, I know, but the thing is, it's like a lot of people, like they get like I said, I'm like, was he a younger guy? Was he younger?
Yeah,
What was his age?
Let me get his age. Yeah.
Was he younger? Because a lot of times, like with the young man, the lady Kim, what's her name? The one who shot the young man. She was saying,
Wright.
Yeah, her, who shot the young man, because he was very young. He was a young man. He was very
Wright
young.
was a young guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he was very young.
I have Patrick Doyle's age. It doesn't say in this article.
And she taser, and then she pulled, and then she shot, because in instances, I said, well, I tell my young Black people, especially my young Black men, like, even if you have like an expired license, or if you have a small bag of weed on you, weed is legal in Illinois now. It is. It's legal in Illinois. We can smoke weed now in Illinois if but my thing is, whatever you have going on that might be a minor offense, it's worth more than it's like your life is not worth that. It's just not. Like, I
think Cube said this line. He said,
trying to run, you're not going to outrun
about that. Cube said, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. That's a bar right there. And that's
Who said that?
I think Cube said, I think that's what.
Yeah. Cube, brother Cube.
By 12 and carried by 6. Yeah. It's like, if you're alive, you got a chance to
got a chance.
You plead your case in court. If you're dead, you can't plead shit. It's like, yeah.
Right. Now your mom is like crying, or like your wife or your children. Now you leave that behind.
In the street saying, say his name. Is like, well, I can say my own name if I survive.
I don't want you to be a hashtag. I'm tired of seeing people become hashtags. Say my own
damn name. I'm surviving.
It's like, I know, like, in that instant you think that, okay, I can outrun them, or I can, no, like, don't do that. Don't do that. Your life is so much
more. The Rayshard Brooks case, which we talked about, it was in Atlanta. You remember that, the Rayshard Brooks?
Yeah.
You remember that one? Mm-hmm. The dude was drunk as hell and fell asleep in the Wendy's.
Was he like at Wendy's or something?
Yeah, he was drunk, fell asleep.
Yeah, Wendy's, yeah.
They gave him the sobriety test. He failed it, and then that's what this case reminds me of. He got into a scuffle with the cops, just like the like Patrick Loyola is like, and he took the cop's taser, just like in this case. It reminds me of that case, yeah. Because that cop, I think the charges got dropped on that cop too. I think because that one was like, because that happened right after George Floyd. That's why.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
like literally a week after George Floyd.
Like right after.
That's why that was such a tense case. It's like a week later. That's why they burnt the Wendy's and all that.
And people tried to be like, it's open season on. And that's what people say. It's open season on Black people. They just killing Black people for no reason. It's open season. People start going there.
Nothing changes. Like, yeah, like the George Floyd dude got murdered on camera, and they still killing the cops. But I remember that story was very tense. Yeah, we talked about it, and I was going in on that one. I remember that. I was like, because it was like right after George Floyd. But this case reminds me of that, because like,
I just beg you. That's why I'm saying, anybody listening, like I said, like anybody, any race, like I said, whatever race you are, however you identify, like sexual, whatever your identity is, your life is worth more than whatever you got going on. Expired license, drugs, whatever you got going on. Like I said, hell, even if you got a body in the car, like hell, even if you got a body in the car,
OJ had 2 bodies and got off. I'm just saying, a body don't necessarily mean you going to jail. OJ had 2 and got found not guilty. It all depends on what jury you get.
And your lawyer.
Yep, your lawyer.
And your lawyer. Because Johnny Cochran worked miracles. He was a miracle worker. But just like, that's why I say, just your life is worth more than whatever you got going on. So please choose your life.
Surprisingly quiet. That's what's I'm tripping over. Is like I saw Ben Crump's, like, I haven't seen him on TV yet or nothing like that. Yeah, it's like it's been, like I said, BLM has been super quiet. I know they buying mansions and shit. I know that much, but I know they've been super quiet and shit. So I was like, does BLM still exist?
See my face. Yeah, where do donations go when they? Where do donations go?
Millions, yeah. Just on George Floyd alone, when they raised billions.
Do we need someone to go audit those? Do we need an auditor? Is there an auditor in the house? Do we need an auditor?
raise billions just on George Floyd alone.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to talk about those two. Let's try to talk about something happy right now because we've had enough of that. Yeah. Want to do a little
I was about to say, so like everything that makes me happy, like what makes me happy, people I know, it's the most wonderful time of the year. I know people love Christmas. This is the most wonderful time of the year for me because it's playoffs.
Before we get there, though,
I have to do my Oprah.
before we get to the playoffs, before we do current, let's turn back the clock a little bit. Well, kind of turn back a little bit because we're going to be talking about the GOAT player from every NBA franchise.
Every franchise.
We got nice. We're going to break it down. They have it alphabetically from the Atlanta Hawks to Washington Wizards. It's like, and Washington is definitely wrong. We're going to get there though.
Some of these are no-brainers, obviously.
Okay, like I'm going to go just from the era, from what I know. Because like I can't speak from like if I didn't see you play, then I don't like talking about it. So I know. Like they have Dominique Wilkins at Atlanta Hawks. I agree there. Like,
I agree.
Yeah, some old heads say like Bob Pettit. Like I wasn't watching in the 1950s, so I don't. I
agree, Neek, because Neek put Atlanta on the map with the Neek was exciting.
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah,
he was exciting.
I agree with
the Jordan Dunk contest.
Mm-hmm. I agree with the Celtics with Larry Bird too. Like Bill Russell is obvious the one that people are gonna say because of the 11 championships, but I never saw Russell play, so I can only go by what I saw. That's what. Yeah.
And like, Larry Bird.
I don't know everything. I just go by what I saw.
And for what Larry Bird accomplished, it's like he proved that white men didn't have to jump in.
They were the one thorn in the Showtime side. Like Showtime dominated the 80s for the most part. The Celtics were that one thorn that was in their side the whole time. Though they actually won. They won 3 times against them in that decade.
Had Larry not messed up his back?
Yeah, by shoveling driveways or whatever.
Doing his mom's driveway in French Lick, Indiana. The hick from French Lick.
It's like we don't pay people to do stuff we can do ourselves. Like he comes from that country boy. Yeah, like, yeah.
With that.
We don't hire people. You get out there and do it yourself. It's like that's what it's like.
If you have the funds to hire, it will make your life a lot easier.
Especially Larry was a millionaire. He definitely could have hired.
Hire people. It's people that are paid to do that for you.
All right, Nets. Like, here's another one that's kind of questionable because like we talking about the entirety of the Nets, like the ABA era as well. Dr. J is the man.
Yeah.
We just talking NBA from like New Jersey and in Brooklyn. I would say Jason Kidd right there.
Yeah.
Jason Kidd is the net. Yeah. It might be KD eventually if they
might be KD eventually.
Yeah, win a title someday. KD might take that spot, but right now I'll say it's Kidd because they led back-to-back finals. Like they didn't win, but Kidd did lead them back-to-back.
He did lead them back-to-back, and Kidd is one of the greatest players. So
75 greatest. Yeah, we talking the whole, and Dr. J is the guy, but I don't know if we count the ABA. Charlotte Hornets, another controversial. Kemba Walker. Some like the whole Lonzo Mourning era. Yeah. I would say Kemba had the longest run there. That might be why he got it.
I was like, not Alonzo Mourning.
Another guy that might eventually take it, like is LaMelo Ball. Like if he has the career we think he's going to have, LaMelo might take the spot. But
people are roasting Kemba. They was like, hell, they was like, he not even better than Kendall Gill.
He's not even better than Steph Curry's dad. That's all.
Steph Curry's dad. Dale Curry can shoot. Dale Curry had a shot. Dale had that shot. He could shoot.
The next 3 we can fucking skip.
Yeah, we just gonna skip the next 3. We're gonna skip
Jordan, Bulls, LeBron, Cavs, Dirk.
We're gonna skip that. Yeah.
No debate on any of those.
No debate on any of that.
Never debate on either of those. You don't watch basketball. I'm just saying.
Okay, Bob Love for the Bulls.
Let's have fun. It's like let's say BJ Armstrong.
BJ Armstrong.
J.R. Smith. And Tim Hardaway Jr. I don't know.
Jason Terry.
Jason Terry. Or Deshaun Stevenson. Let's do for fucking the Dallas. Let's go.
Put the $5 thing on his neck.
Deshaun Stevenson for Dallas. So if those 3 are obvious, yeah.
Oh, Bill Wennington is for the Bulls.
Oh, Bill. Nice little J into here. He's shooting big time onions. God damn it. Let's go.
Time onions.
Okay. This Denver one is becoming obvious. Like, I I say he's not there, but he's pretty much there. Like Jokic probably is the greatest.
Yeah, Joker. He probably gonna get the MVP again this year. So
if he gets it, then he will definitely be the greatest.
He probably gonna get it.
Time. Some will say some say Carmelo Anthony. Some say Alex English from back in the day. Yeah.
I say Jokic is good with it.
If you woke, you say Mr. Chris Jackson, better known as Mahmoud Abdul-Waruf. That's another. You want to go there? So I'm gonna say he's a great
brother.
Mr. Chris Jackson. Let's go. Another obvious. That next three are obvious as well. Four are obvious. Next four are obvious as well. Isaiah Thomas, greatest Piston of all time.
Yeah,
Steph Curry, greatest Warrior. Although old Negroes would say Wilt Chamberlain, but I never saw Wilt. So
Steph. Why did somebody say Chris Mullin? I'm like, what? What?
Chris Mullin is better than Steph Curry?
What? Because I saw somebody say that. I was like, you gotta be trolling.
3 championships? Really?
I was like, what?
Only unanimous MVP of all time. Yeah. Hey, you don't watch basketball. I give you Wilt. Wilt dropped 100 when he was a Warrior. I give you that. Yeah. You want to say Wilt? He did score 100 as a Warrior, but I'm not giving you Chris Mullin. No, nah, bro.
I saw somebody say that. I was like, oh my gosh, like, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
Hakeem Olajuwon. Some will say Kenny Smith, but sorry, Ken. No, no one ever. Kenny Smith wouldn't even say he's the greatest Rocket of all time. It's Hakeem. He would definitely say it's the dream. He'd be like, Kenny wouldn't even say he's the greatest Rocket of all time. And then Reggie Miller, greatest pacer of all time, obviously. So those are the 4 obvious ones right there. Some will say, like, depending on your age, you might say Wilt, but Isaiah, Hakeem, and Reggie, obviously. And I say Steph is obvious. That's just me, yeah. Clippers, like, we got a little debate here because, like, some say Blake Griffin because he was there longer. Some old heads will say Bob McAdoo. I'm happy with Chris Paul being there because
happy with Chris Paul.
Because here's the thing: they made the playoffs every year that Chris Paul was there. Mm-hmm. They kind of sucked some of those early years before he got there when it was just Blake. Yeah,
I was about to say the Chris Paul effect.
Yeah.
Chris Paul effect. He has an effect on
people. Those Clippers team when it was just Blake dunking over cars sucked. Like they weren't making.
They were exciting because he could, dunk, but
once Chris Paul got there, they became a contender. So Chris Paul is the greatest Clipper. Here's a big one here. This is like 3 guys could have this spot. Some would say 4 guys could have this spot.
Here's my thing with the Lakers, because the Lakers are so stacked. So
it could be at least 4 different guys that could be
3 people. It's not a wrong answer. If you said Kareem, Magic, or Kobe, I would not be mad at any of those.
Or the 4th guy, Shaq.
Or Shaq even. Yeah, so, I would put Shaq somewhere else, but that's coming up.
Yeah.
I put Shaq somewhere else, but that's coming up for me.
I got another. That's a debate for me as well too. We gonna get there. Oh yeah.
But I say those 3 and then Shaq too. Like any of those, like especially those first 3 are named. Any of those first 3.
Kareem, Magic, Kobe, or Shaq could be considered.
It's not wrong. It's not a wrong answer.
I'm Team Magic. A lot of people are Team Kobe. And which is matches. They both won 5 titles with the Lakers.
And then some people are saying Kareem.
Magic even himself said Kobe was the greatest Laker. But
and then some people say Kareem because he still is a scoring champ.
Kareem is. And when people are mentioning GOATs, they disrespect Kareem so much.
They do. He just had a birthday recently too. He just had his birthday. Yeah.
Sky hook. Let's go. Yeah.
Because he had a shot that you couldn't block.
Yep. And the one guy that blocked it was Wilt Chamberlain. I saw that's the only guy.
How do you block?
Only guy I ever saw block the sky hook was Wilt. Like, yeah, he's like, it took Wilt Chamberlain to block this. The only guy I ever saw.
Right, the only person who could block that.
A guy who dropped 100. Who like if blocks were like if they counted blocks in this day, he'd definitely be the all-time leader in blocks. Like, but they didn't track that back then. That's why Wilt and them don't get credit for that. They didn't keep track of blocks like back then. Okay, here's another controversial one. It's like they have Zach Randolph. I would say it's Mark Gasol.
I was going to say maybe Marc Gasol. I was going to say that. Possibly.
Who it will be eventually is going to be John Moran. Let's just call it.
Yeah. He AI Junior.
It's still early right now, but yeah, it's going to be him. But I won't knock you for saying Zach Randolph. I just think Gasol. When I think the Grizzlies, I think Gasol first. Like he's the first guy that pops up. Wade, greatest Heat ever.
Wade.
Some say LeBron. I say Wade because he was there.
I say Wade.
And he won a title. And he won a title before LeBron got there. LeBron.
And the Finals MVP. Yeah, Wade. I say Wade.
I think Wade is the greatest Heat of all time. Another one that could go either way. Giannis is the greatest Buck to have some.
Lou Alcindor.
Yeah.
Or Kareem, aka Kareem Lou Alcindor.
Better known as Kareem. Yeah, Lou Alcindor. Yeah.
People like, no, it's Lou Alcindor.
They won titles 50 years apart. That's great. Because like the Bucks won 71 with Kareem 71. And then 2021 with Giannis. So they won.
So the answer isn't wrong. If you choose either the men who won a championship, you're not incorrect, I say. Yeah. So that's another one where.
Another obvious one, Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's spot on. KG.
Okay, here's another one that could go a couple ways. They got Chris Paul, the greatest Pelican. Some would say AD. It's like that's pretty.
Yeah, I would say maybe AD.
Pretty evenly. That might be the closest battle of all of these. Yeah, other than that Lakers battle. Like, yeah, this might be the closest battle. If you say, because half would say Chris Paul's, half would say AD. Like either one of them.
I say AD.
Yeah, if Zion gets healthy, it could be him, but we got to get him back on the court. Zion, get well, Zion. I want to see what you got. Don't become a bust, God damn it.
But they projected him like a Larry Johnson, right?
Yeah, Zion is supposed to be like the man.
He's going to be like a Larry Johnson. That's what they said his comparison was. Grandmama.
Greatest Nick. I agree with Patrick Ewing.
I say Ewing.
Old heads would go back to like Willis Reed and Walt Frazier.
I say Ewing.
I never saw them. They played in the 70s.
I hated that team in the 90s, so I hated the Knicks.
And Ewing did lead them. He did lead them to two. I'm not champion.
I hated Patrick Ewing with his.
They made 2 finals appearances.
I hated them so bad. I hated that team.
Kevin Durant, greatest Thunder. There's 2 other names that could go right here. Some will say Russell Westbrook because of the triple-double thing. And some will say Gary Payton, the glove. Yeah, Gary Payton might.
Oh, yeah, because it's CL Super, because that's right, it was a super song.
Yeah, so I'm saying I like Payton because, he was the glove. But KD is KD, so we can't go wrong. KD is KD. You can't go wrong there.
Yeah, Kevin Durant's a freak of nature. He's a 6'11" shooting guard. That's what he is. He's a 6'11" shooting guard, basically.
Okay, there you go. Here's yours. We're talking about earlier, Orlando Magic.
And that was my boo, Penny Hardaway. Everybody who, if you knew me, I love me. I still have my little penny doll in my room. I love me some Penny Hardaway.
2 other names that should go ahead of him.
I say Shaq.
Shaq, some say, is the greatest Orlando Magic of all time. And then Dwight Howard has a strong case for that as well, too.
Or Jameer Nelson.
or our guy, Vooch. Let's go, man.
I want to let you throw Shay on Jameer Nelson's name. Keto Turkaloo. No.
Alfred Payton, damn it.
Alfred Payton.
Mo Bamba. Hey.
The song was better than him.
Better than the player. That's facts right there. Yeah. I would say, some because but the reason why they say Dwight over Shaq, because Dwight and Shaq both led them to NBA Finals. Dwight was there a lot longer than Shaq. Shaq was only there like 4 years. That's why some will say
he was on table with Kobe. We go holler at Kobe real quick.
To the West Coast.
We holler at Kobe Bryant.
Here's another debatable one. Some would say not debatable. They have Philly AI. You might be going AI with Philly.
I say AI.
I got to go with Doc there. That's where I would put Julius Erving right here because Doc led him to a championship.
I say AI.
I got to go with Doc.
I got to go with AI.
Doc beat the Showtime Lakers with that Sixers team.
Which is great which is mad impressive. But the way that I just say AI because he was another freak of nature where AI was like 5'11". And the way that he was just killing him, like he was 5'11", he was a regular sized dude, and just killing.
I gotta go with Doc. Doc set the template. Doc crawled so Michael Jordan could dunk and shit. There we go. It wouldn't be no Mike without Doc. He set the template. Gotta go with Doc right there. Mm-hmm. Steve Nash is pretty obvious. Some people say it's Chuck right there. But Steve Nash won.
Charles? Some people said Charles.
Because he led him to a finals. Steve Nash never did. Steve Nash did win back-to-back MVPs.
He did win back-to-back MVPs. Mm-hmm. I say Nash is good there.
I like Steve Nash as the greatest son of all time.
I disagree with the next one.
Absolutely. Clyde Drexler.
Clyde Drexler.
He led him to 2 NBA Finals appearances.
I was like, where's Clyde Drexler?
Damian Lillard has
he hasn't done anything
They had one Western Conference appearance in this whole time there.
He did this. Bye-bye. That's what he did. He did bye-bye.
That's all he's done. Yeah.
And he did but he did the
face, yeah.
That. Where he looked like super fresh or whatever the guy's name is, the meme, that he did that.
We got the Big O. Next,
Yep.
that shows you how terrible the Kings are. They had to go way back to Oscar Robertson. To me, if it's just like guys I saw play, I say it's Chris Webber.
C Webb. I was gonna say what happened to C Webb.
But Oscar is Oscar. Like I said, so you gotta give it to Oscar. We're just going from our era. I say
if they put C Webb, I wouldn't be mad.
If they put Webber, I would agree because that's what I think is the greatest King of all time is Webber. But I never saw Oscar, so I won't debate that one. Like I'll let that in. Another obvious one, Timmy.
Hey.
Of all time, yeah.
And he's another one who gets disrespected as far as GOAT talks. Mm-hmm. This man won 5 rings on one team in 19 years.
Mm-hmm. Never missed the playoffs.
Never missed the playoffs.
Like LeBron is missing them now. Kobe missed the playoffs. Mike missed the playoffs. Curry missed the playoffs. Like Tim Duncan never missed the playoffs.
Never missed the playoffs.
Nobody can say that. All your other GOATs have missed the playoffs. Like he's the
one
guy
team
never missed the playoffs.
One team won 5 rings.
Mm-hmm.
He never won back to back. That's why people I think disrespect him because he never won back to back.
And he played for the Spurs and he was quiet.
He played for the Spurs and he was boring. Yeah.
Another
he still was GOAT. He still couldn't GOAT talk to me.
Another controversial one. Kyle Lowry is the greatest Raptor. I like it because how long he was there is like, and he was part of that championship team. Some will say Vince Carter.
I say Vince Carter.
Some say Kawhi Leonard because of the championship season. He was there the 1 year, but they won the title.
I say Vince Carter because.
But no. You forget all of them. The greatest Raptor of all time is Rockford's Fred VanVleet.
Fred VanVleet. You won't let me disrespect Fred VanVleet.
Fred, greatest Raptor ever. Champion, damn it. Let's go.
I won't let you disrespect Fred.
2 more guys in that conversation for Toronto. We forgot. Yeah, Chris Bosh. Also, our very own now, DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan, yeah.
Like so, it could be any. I don't mind Lowry in that spot though. Like I don't mind.
Yeah, because he won a title, so I still say because he brought the excitement. Vince
was exciting. Like they never. I think they made it to a conference finals. I don't think they went to the final. They definitely didn't go to the finals with Vince. I want to say they did make it to a conference finals though. I want to say Stockton they have here. I think it's Karl Malone.
I think Malone. Yeah, Malone.
When I think of the Jazz, I think of Malone before Stockton.
Because I mean. Well, let's put together John Malone. John Malone. Because when you say the Utah Jazz, you can't say one way or the other. You have to say Stockton and Malone. You can't say them.
Are they the one that has a 1A and a 1B? Maybe
they're a pair. You can't. Yeah. They're a pair. You can't break them because like whenever you say Stockton, you have to say Stockton and Malone or Malone and Stockton. You can't separate the two. You can't. They're one.
And possibly,
so, I prefer Malone though.
Possibly is like Gilbert Arenas. No chill Gil. They have the greatest Washington Wizard. I don't know what to say about that one. Because a lot of them old cats I didn't watch. If we just going from cats I saw in my era, it might be Gil. I say like it might be Bradley Beal or somebody like that. If we just going by like cats after.
I say you put some respect on what you call the Washington Bullets, Juwan Howard.
Chris Webber. Let's go.
Respect on Juwan Howard.
Or let's just go with the GOAT here. Let's say Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan is the GOAT. No, Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown, baby.
Kwame Brown is the GOAT.
Put some of Mama's cooking on there for you.
Won't let you disrespect Kwame Brown. Won't let you disrespect him.
Nice list right there. Nice list.
That was a good list. It was. Some of them were kind of. Some of them were obvious. Like Chicago, I was like, if anybody is other here than Michael Jordan, Chicago, the list sucks.
Chicago, Cleveland, and Dallas. I said those are like,
Dallas, the Spurs. It's like
Spurs. Some obvious ones, like that we know that this guy is like. When I think of this organization, I think of this player.
They had a holy trinity in the Spurs though, because you had Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker. They had a trinity. They had a holy trinity.
I forget about the Admirals there. Yeah,
the Admiral. Yeah, they had some pieces.
Talent,
they had some nice pieces in San Antonio. Okay. Yeah.
Let's pull up this bracket right here and see where we stand. Like now, it's like we're going to get into it. NBA playoffs.
Yes.
This is the bracket, the final brackets. I know we gave you a preview last week because the stupid play-in tournament, like teams moved around. It's like, yes, the Bulls are playing the Bucks. They're not playing the Celtics. The Celtics were 3 last week, but not anymore. The Bulls are playing the Bucks.
The game is going now. It's a tight one in Brooklyn. I mean, in Boston, it's a tight one.
Yeah, that's because Brooklyn is on a mission. Like I said, we talked about that weeks ago. So if I don't want to see the Brooklyn Nets in the first.
I don't want to see the Nets in the first round.
That's
why when the Bulls dropped, I was like, okay. I said, well, maybe it's good that we dropped out that 1-2 slot because you would have to play. You would have to, if you were in the 1-2 spot, you're going to have to play Brooklyn because Brooklyn was not going to get out of the play-in.
Yeah, because they had all KD was out a lot.
KD was out. Kyrie was out.
Having his COVID stuff is like, right
so they
now
dropped. They dropped.
When all of that,
and it was no way they was going to be able to play into higher than the play-in.
Far behind,
So I was like, maybe it's strategic that we dropped out of the 1-2. But we got the Bucks. So I mean, like my thing I keep on saying, anything is possible. If you steal game 1, anything is possible. One game at a time. Just one game at a time.
It's not impossible, but the Bulls definitely got an uphill battle.
They got uphill. You know what? Honestly, I would be pleased that, and this would be a similar thing. If the Bulls I would be okay if the Bulls get eliminated in the first round if it plays out like when the Bulls played the Celtics in 2009. If it plays out like that, I would be content. If it played out because
that's similar because like that was
they fought. They were the champions.
It's a similar setup too. Because like the Celtics, they were the defending champions.
They were the defending champ.
That was 2-7. The Bulls is 3-6 this time.
The
Celtics were 2, Bulls were 7, I think, that year, something like that. So
the Bulls were like just starting to get their group. You know, they had
that team was just kind of got put together.
Yeah, they had Young Rose. They had Noah.
Jordan was still there. Heinrich was still there.
Yeah.
Ding was hurt, I think, in that series, but he was part of it.
Salmons was there.
Salmons, they had Miller. They had a good team. Yeah, they had
a good team. But it's like we just need to get over that hump. And it's like we were figuring it out. But if the Bulls have a similar run like that with the Bucks, I would say our season was a success. It has to be that play.
Yeah, then I'm happy.
It has to be that play. It can't be where you just roll over and die. You can't roll over and die. It has to be that. When you fight. And that triple overtime, ooh, that was great. That triple overtime with Noah when he dunked on Pierce.
Okay. Do you have the updated where we at now with the standing? Because like I don't have that in front of me. I know that I think the Heat beat the shit out of the Hawks in that game.
They did. So the Suns play tonight. That's the last game tonight.
Let's go over the where the finals, and then we'll come to the games that are upcoming right now. I know.
Okay, so
already
the Heat beat the snot out. The Heat beat the snot out of the Hawks. The Sixers beat the Raptors. Right.
Raptors, I saw that. Said the Bulls game hasn't happened as we.
Bulls haven't happened yet, and the Celtics. It's a dogfight between them. It's a dogfight.
Here's a nice upset here.
Timberwolves stole from the Grizz. I was shocked.
Shout out your guy Patrick Beverly on that.
Yeah, he came to play because he has a little chip on his shoulder. He does. He got a chip on his shoulder.
A lot of play-in game, like they celebrated. I get why they celebrated because the Timberwolves are trash. They only made the playoffs. Like there's only
they beat the Clippers.
They beat the Clippers. Patrick Beverly's
old team. Yeah.
And this only the second time they made the playoffs since Kevin Garnett was there in 2004. Like, yeah. So
it was a nice upset.
One time when Butler was there, and then it's only the second time in like almost 20 years. So like, when you suck that bad, you celebrate whatever victory you can get. Like, so that's why they were celebrating so hard.
How about them Golden State Warriors?
I watched that game. Yeah, Warriors.
I watched it. Yeah. But then when it got out of hand, Marcus and I turned it off. We were like, okay, they're about like 25.
I watched like from the second quarter all the way to the end of that one. Yeah, I watched.
Because after like when we were like, okay, this is over. Let's watch something else. Like this is over.
I watched Steph Curry. Yeah, like that's a leader right there. Like he said, he was going to come off the bench because like he's just coming back from injury.
Coming back from injury.
Poole got the hot hand. He's like, start Poole. Like, and Poole went off on that in that game too. Yeah, he went off. Yeah.
But that's the difference that we say between a good leader and a bad leader. Good leaders want their team to look good. bad leaders want themselves to look good. That's the difference. A bad leader wants, I want all the attention. I want all the accolades. It's about me, me, me. Mm-hmm. A great leader is like, no, it's us. Mm-hmm. It's us. We're a team. So they showed up and showed out. Like them warriors, they were, mm-hmm. That might be a sweep. Sorry, Jokic, that might be a sweep.
Especially since they got Steph back, like anything's possible. But yeah.
Jazz upset the Mavs.
Yep. That's Luka's out, so that's
Luka's out because he had the calf. Yeah, and I'm not sure if he's going to be available for game 2. I'm not sure.
I don't know his status. Yeah.
If they go down 0-2, then Luka's coming back. Like regardless, you know how teams are. Like if they go down 0-2, it's like, oh, I'm gonna take this in. We'll be out there.
And Suns Pelicans, like we don't have that one yet either. Yeah.
They might get swept. I think the Pelicans are gonna get swept. Sorry.
Yeah, they're lucky to be there.
They're gonna get swept.
Really should have been the Clippers, but
should have been the Clippers. Yeah.
Yeah, though. Yeah. You saw Patrick Beverly. I don't know if you saw him on Instagram. Like after the Timberwolves beat the Clippers in the play-in, and he was just being Beverly. Yeah, weak ass. Weak ass Clippers. Like he's winning. He was shitting all over there. Weak ass Clippers. And then they didn't.
He got fined. He got fined $30,000.
Yeah, that's Clippers. That's funny, but I don't care. And I don't even like Patrick Beverly, but that's
my thing I didn't say. Chicago, we clown on people. We roast people in Chicago, and he's from the West Side, so that's what we do in Chicago. We roast people, so that's just all it is for him. The Chicago coming out.
That's the irony. When he got traded, everybody assumed that if you said a year ago at this time, like, yeah, Beverly got traded to the Timberwolves from the Clippers, which team is going to make the playoffs and which one is not going to make the playoffs? The Clippers with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard versus the fucking Timberwolves. Like, which team is going to be in the playoffs? Which one is not? So there you go. You never know where life is going to carry you. That's what
you just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm just happy. Like this my time. Playoffs. Woo!
Okay, well, not another damn podcast. Wrapping it up. Okay. Another good addition right there. Definitely appreciate supporting the program. You know what to do if you want to support further. Like you like. Yeah. All of that. Also, subscribe, share, rate, review on all your platforms. Some about Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, SoundCloud, iHeart, TLC Talk Radio. What's good, Tasha?
Hey, Tasha.
And also, we have YouTube and your Amazon Alexa devices as well. Mm-hmm. Follow me at Ozman the Wizard on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Oz Radio on Snapchat and Facebook as well. You know how I do it.
And you can check me out at MSIMA8626 on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Mm-hmm. Also, SCR8GULLEY1 on Twitter, SCR8GULLEY7 on Instagram. Also, please like the Straight Gully Facebook fan page. Check out straightgully.com for your blogs and your vlogs. And for your video production needs, check out straightgullyproductions.com.
I'm Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima.
We will talk to you later. I'm gone.